Welcome to the ISO Prisoner Outreach Correspondence Program and to this video to help you get started. We appreciate your willingness to learn more and hopefully become a part of this vital program for those still suffering addicts behind bars. Letters to prisoners are generally in response to their reaching out first to ISO for information and help. They have been motivated to make the first move. It is our mission to respond as quickly and effectively as possible to them. Because of this, letter writing to prisoners involves more than just being a pen pal, although the informal support is as valuable as the casual interactions at meetings. But just as for those working the program in the outside world, letter writing is meant to be an opportunity for prisoners to also work the program by working the steps with their letter writer, who also acts as a sponsor by correspondence. This carries its own challenges, but perseverance and dedication have proven to work for many prisoners, and so can certainly work for you and your prisoner sponsee. Because of these challenges and responsibilities, we recommend that each prospective letter writer follow certain guidelines, including a minimum of 1 year in the SAA fellowship, a minimum of 6 months continuous sexual sobriety, experience in working the 12 steps with a sponsor, as well as with serving as a sponsor yourself, and a commitment to carrying the SAA message of recovery to the addict who still suffers, particularly the addict who is incarcerated. With that in mind, the process recommended is that you get the approval of your sponsor. They can help you determine if you are ready at this stage of your own recovery to take on this awesome responsibility. Then complete the application form on the ISO service website, either online or by printing or scanning it to send according to the information on the website. However you send it, that information will then be entered into our database and you will be matched up with a prisoner. The traditional method of corresponding that has been set up by the ISO to assure greater confidentiality and anonymity is that you will write to the prisoner directly using ISO's return address. Then the prisoner will send their letter back to ISO, from where it will be forwarded to you in a plain brown envelope without any SAA reference on the outside. It is also important to note that some prisons do not accept mail sent by someone just using a last initial, as is common in many of our interactions with one another in the program. So we suggest that you use an alias that is based on your initial if you wish. So for example, Paul D, the letter D, could become Paul D, spelled out D-E-E, or Paul Dean. But remember that all this is suggested, not mandated. Some writers use their own names as well as their own or an intergroup mailing address, so it really is up to the individual writer and their own comfort level. ISO will already have sent to the prisoner a pocket-sized copy of the Green Book. It is up to you to decide to send whatever other materials, such as pamphlets or worksheets. But just be aware that different prisons have different restrictions, so don't be discouraged if, for instance, certain worksheets you might have sent on colored paper are rejected by the prison. Just try resending them on plain white paper. And don't ever send money or stamps or anything else outside program materials. Also, some prisons have set up email accounts that can be used in place of written letters. You will likely find out about that possibility from your own prisoner sponsee if such an option is available there. However you correspond, be assured that any questions or issues you may encounter can be shared with an experienced letter writer or someone at ISO. And included on the service website are other guidelines as well as sample worksheets you are welcome to use, rather than create your own if you wish. In closing, let me share as an experienced letter writer that correspondence can move rather slowly in prisons for various reasons, so don't be discouraged if it seems to take longer than you might expect for a letter back. And knowing that letters are subject to being opened and read by prison staff, it is important that you be discreet in your sharing, and that the prisoner not write down anything that could be incriminating or used against them. And finally, again from experience, let me just say that a prisoner may go back and forth a bit in their commitment to working the program, as any of us can, so be patient, supportive, and encouraging. But ultimately, the responsibility is theirs, not yours, just as in any healthy sponsor-sponsee relationship. This is truly an awesome service to the most vulnerable members of our fellowship, and so an awesome responsibility for the letter writer. And with it comes much reward. We are truly called to be messengers of hope in ways even greater and more needed than in our own local fellowships. We hope you will make the decision to move forward with this vital service and will pass the word on to your fellows. Thank you.